that in just a wee bit from now. But we're looking at Bajaj Finance, HDFC Life, SBI Life, L&T Tech, Indus Stars, Canfin Homes, Syngene and Gujarat Gas. All of them, their stocks on the back of positive news flow. On the flip side, you have Coforge, Voltas as well as Gujarat Gas, their stocks on the back of negative news flow. I think Gujarat Gas makes it to the red list, so we'll keep an eye out on that one.
All right, stocks with names starting with Gujarat were all the rage yesterday, and we'll have a discussion on that a little later here on the program. Dean Kim, head of global research product at William O'Neill and Company, joins in to discuss what he's making of the overall setup. Dean, great to have you with us here on the program. There's a bit of a divergence in the US, right? I mean, I was just mentioning, while large cap tech is doing very well, and that is responsible for bulk of the, I think, 7-8% gains on the S&P and gains on the NASDAQ, of course. You've got the Dow Transports, which is down almost 7% in the last 2 days. What do you make of what's going on out there in the US and the potential for that to have an influence in other markets, emerging markets especially?
Yeah, certainly. For the U.S., we were trending fine up until yesterday and to some degree today. The S&P broke below the 21-day moving average for the first time in about a month. And we are on way to test the 50-day moving average, which is like 1% below. And the NASDAQ followed suit as well. However, we had strong earnings reports from Microsoft and Alphabet today, which propelled the market higher. But then we saw a downside reversal into the close. And after the close, Meta reported a great set of numbers. And so we'll see how the market opens tomorrow. But I think we need to see some improvement in the market in order for us to, get through this market, which is, tagged as uptrend under pressure for now. Sector-wise, as you mentioned, technology, healthcare, staples, select retail continues to hang in there. But energy, basic material, transport, and financials are under pressure. Breadth continues to be narrow, with only 35% of New York Stock Exchange stocks trading above the 150-day moving average. And this was 47% a couple of weeks ago. So we need to see some improvement. And of course, all eyes will be on Fed policy decision next week. And expectation calls for a 25 basis point hike. And I think that's well understood. So either way, in terms of if they raise more or they say we're going to go longer, or if they actually, stop raising rates, we're going to have vastly different outcome in terms of market performance. So next week will be pretty critical.
Okay. Yes, absolutely, Dean. Let me just ask you one more question on the U.S. before we move on. This whole banking chatter is back thanks to First Republic, right? Do you think it can become an overhang or a concern? Or do you think the market's put it behind it and probably realizes that even if First Republic needs to be saved, it'll simply be done and life goes on?
Yeah, I think, SIVB and First Republic, they're in a special situation because they were heavily geared towards tech deposits in Northern California. And I think they are a special situation. Now, if I noticed that a lot of the regional banks have reported, and depending on the bank, stocks have been reacting positively to positive management commentary, despite overall pressure on the banking sector. So I don't think we're going to have a crisis per se in the banking sector. However, we do see some significant headwinds. One is when the Fed starts cutting rates, that's they're signifying that the economy is indeed in trouble. So that's one thing. So we may see recession going forward, and I can tell you that the loan criteria has been ramped up, and I think the demand for loans is going to be pretty low going forward. Second thing is margin pressure. I think we're going to see some margin pressure on net interest margins going forward because of the yield curve. And then lastly, there's still this overhang in terms of commercial real estate in the U.S. So that could be a black swan event. But that's going to, really come out not all at the same time, but over several quarters. So we do see some headwinds, but it's not going to be a major crisis in my mind.
All right. Hi, Dean. Good morning. You know, Dean, the last time we chatted, you spoke about a few good-looking markets. I think India as well made it to the list. But Taiwan, Korea, as well as Hang Seng, those are the markets that you were looking at. In this month itself, India has been an outperformer, mind you. We were slow to start in 2023. What's your pecking order right now? Do you think the Indian markets are good for more? I recall you telling us about the 100 DMA, which is now in our vicinity. Right. Your take.
Right. Yeah, so India market, we still have it as an uptrend, fantastic market, performing well. We just need that one more day of positive action in the market to get us above the 100-day moving average. We're sitting right there. And next support is the rising 21-day moving. It's actually the 10-day moving average, which is about 1% or less than 1% below, followed by the 21-day moving average. So I am seeing a lot of names in India, setting up and breaking out, which is positive. So breadth has actually improved since last time I was on. I'm noticing a lot of, of course, there's cap equipment names that's always been strong. But financial names are now coming on, as well as some of the consumer cyclicals and staple names as well. Now, compare India with other Asian markets. We have Hong Kong, Korea, and Taiwan as uptrend under pressure. So they are still performing, but a bit of a pressure at the moment. So we need to see some improvement. And then markets like Japan and China. We're waiting for the rally to begin. We're waiting for follow-through days. But certainly India is the best performing market in Asia so far.
Okay, well, we'll hope it stays that way. Dean, thank you very much. Always appreciate you joining us on the show with some quick thoughts on how things are looking. All right, that's a word from William O'Neill. We will take a quick break on that note. On the other side, our top list of stocks to watch out for this Thursday morning.